All right, now the White House is praising the $3.7 trillion budget deal that Democrats squeezed through the Senate in the wee hours of the morning. All Republican senators voted against the measure, including Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming. I talked with him just hours before that vote.
The big problem with this Democrat budget is that it increases taxes about $1 trillion. That's in addition to the $1 trillion that we've seen of increased taxes from the president's health care law. It grows government. It is additional spending. And Republicans, of course, we're trying to grow the economy, not grow the government. The other thing, the problem with this Democrat budget is it never balances. Not this year, not in 5 years, not in 10 years. Never. And American families understand the importance of a balanced budget.
Well, I know that both sides at this point are saying that these budgets, the Republican budget that was shot down and the Democratic budget are not viable at this point. So where do we find room for compromise at this point? The American people are really frustrated that we don't seem to be seeing real movement.
Well, the American people are very concerned that we don't have a balanced budget. I'd like to see a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution. Families know they have to live within their means. You can't spend money that you don't have, but yet that's what this government has continued to do, to the point now where we have a debt of $16 trillion, and it's irresponsible, and people don't believe they're getting value for their taxpayer dollars. When they send money to Washington, they think just about over half of it is not being used well and is being wasted.
Well, tell me more about the effort that you are putting forth right now, because you're really concerned about the Obamacare's massive hit that you're calling it, a hit tax, before it actually puts more Americans out of work. That's what you're alleging.
Well, one of the good news pieces of this budget is we passed an amendment to repeal part of the Obama health care law, which has to do with the taxes on medical devices. And actually, over 30 Democrats voted along with all of the Republicans to repeal this tax, which costs jobs and hurts the economy. I have an additional amendment to try to repeal an additional tax called the health insurance tax, which just drives up the cost of insurance for American families. So, the president promised if you liked what you had, you could keep it in terms of your health care, and that his plan would actually lower premiums for families. What we've seen is a lot of people aren't able to keep what they have if they like it, and they're finding they're paying a lot more than they were paying before the law came into place. And this weekend is the 3-year anniversary of the president signing the health care law, and people know that it's bad for them as patients, it's bad for the nurses and the doctors, the providers who take care of them, and it's terrible for taxpayers.
Step back for a moment. Let's talk about the fact that the president did wage a charm offensive with the members on the Hill. Do you have faith that he is serious about getting something done between both Republicans and Democrats?
Well, I think it's important that we actually try to get something done in a responsible way to give people assurance and comfort in terms of Medicare, in terms of Social Security. I mean, the times of divided government are the times you can accomplish the big things. We should be working on finding a way to make sure that for the next 75 years, Medicare and Social Security are secure, so that people who are currently on those programs and then the next generations to come don't have to worry in their retirement ages about their Social Security and their health care.
On the issue, though, of Obamacare, there are many conservatives who are very upset by the fact that they believe the leadership is caving at this point and not going to really put real opposition against some of the tenets of Obamacare.
We're trying to take apart piece by piece this terrible health care law, which isn't what people wanted in the first place. They wanted the care they need from a doctor they choose at lower cost. That's not what people have gotten, and that's why, in addition to proposing an amendment as part of the budget to take down the entire health care law, repeal the whole health care law, well, that amendment failed. So now we're going piece by piece after it, which was why I'm so encouraged by so many Democrats who, now that the president's been reelected, are starting to speak up in areas of the health care law that they realize is bad for people all across this country. We're going to continue in this fight, Uma.
Senator, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. It's always great to see you.
Thank you, Uma. Appreciate it.